Have you ever stood in the middle of your living room, quietly asking yourself, what would make life just a little easier today? It might be something as simple as turning off a light without walking across the room, or feeling secure knowing someone could help you if you slipped. These aren't luxuries, they're essentials. And the truth is, growing older shouldn't mean giving up convenience or independence. It should mean getting smarter about how we live and using the tools that make everyday life feel safe, manageable, and even a little more joyful. The world has changed a lot in our lifetime. We've gone from rotary phones to video calls, from handwritten letters to instant messages, and from flipping light switches to just asking out loud for what we need. And while all this change can sometimes feel overwhelming, there's a hidden blessing in it too, because many of these new technologies aren't designed just for the young. They're quietly becoming some of the most powerful allies for seniors who want to stay in their homes, live independently, and feel confident doing so. So today, let's take a walk through something simple, something important. 5 smart little devices that aren't flashy, complicated, or techy. They're just helpful. These are tools that can ease daily burdens, increase safety, and give you that reassuring feeling that yes, you've still got this. You're still in charge of your home, your schedule, your comfort. And no matter what your age, you deserve to feel that sense of control. Let's begin where most of our daily routines begin and end, the home. Imagine for a moment that you're sitting comfortably with your feet up. The house is quiet, the sun is low, and you're enjoying a favorite show or maybe just the soft hum of the evening. But the lights in the kitchen are still on. The thermostat feels a little too warm. And the back door, did you lock it? In the past, that might have meant slowly getting up, walking room to room, maybe feeling a little annoyed that you forgot again. But now, imagine simply saying, Alexa, turn off the kitchen lights, or, hey Google, set the temperature to 70, and it's done, just like that. No remote, no knobs, no walking, just your voice. That's the beauty of smart voice assistants. They're not here to make life more complicated. They're here to make it simpler. These small, unassuming devices can be placed on a counter or shelf, and from there, they can help you manage almost anything in your home. Want to hear the news, check the weather before a walk, or set a reminder to take your afternoon medication? Just ask. You don't have to scroll, press, or navigate. You speak, and they respond. It feels like magic, but it's really just thoughtful design. What surprises most people is how quickly this technology feels like part of the family. Not in a strange or robotic way, but in that comforting sense that someone's always there to lend a hand. A woman I spoke with, Judith, who's 78, told me she uses her voice assistant every morning and every night. She plays music while she cooks, asks it to remind her of birthdays, and even chats with it on lonely days. It's not just about what it can do, she said. It's about how it makes me feel capable again. That word, capable, is so powerful, because independence isn't just about doing everything yourself. It's about having the tools that support you in doing the things you still want to do. That's why smart assistants are often the first step seniors take toward creating a home that works with them, not against them. No more reaching for switches or forgetting appointments. Just a simple, helpful presence that listens and responds. And while we're talking about presence, let's talk about something that matters even more than convenience, safety. Because as we age, one of the quiet fears that creeps in is the thought of falling. Not just because of the injury itself, but because of what it might mean afterward. Lying on the floor, no one around, maybe struggling to reach the phone. That's not just scary, it can be dangerous. This is where smart fall detection devices come into the picture. They're not like the old, clunky panic buttons we used to see on TV. Today's versions are sleek, comfortable, and remarkably advanced. Some look like wristwatches. Others can be worn discreetly under clothes. And many of them don't even require you to press anything. They can sense a sudden fall, detect the motion, and automatically alert a loved one or emergency services. That means if something happens, even if you're unconscious, help can still be on its way. A man named Frank, who's 83 and living alone after his wife passed, shared a story that stuck with me. One evening, while reaching for a bowl in the kitchen cabinet, he lost his balance and fell hard onto the tiled floor. He couldn't move right away, but his smart fall detector had already noticed. Within 2 minutes, his daughter received a call. She was there in 15. He told me later, "I didn't feel alone." And that made all the difference. It's moments like these that remind us how valuable it is to be prepared, not out of fear, but out of respect for ourselves. Because caring for your independence is an act of love. It says, "I matter. My comfort matters. My safety matters." And a small device, worn daily, can carry that message loud and clear. But the benefits of smart technology don't stop at light switches and emergency alerts. There's another area of home life that often gets overlooked but makes a huge difference: comfort. As we get older, our sensitivity to temperature can change. Some days, the house feels too cold. Other times, too warm. And walking back and forth to adjust the thermostat might seem like no big deal, until it becomes a chore that tires you out. That's where smart thermostats come in. These quiet little helpers learn your preferences over time. You can control them with your voice, a phone app, or even set them to adjust automatically, depending on the time of day. Wake up and like it warm in the morning? Done. Prefer a cooler temperature while you sleep? Easy. And the best part is, you don't have to remember to do a thing. It just works. I know one couple in their 70s who used to argue constantly about the temperature in the house. Since installing a smart thermostat, they've found a rhythm. It's like the house finally learned how we both like things, they joked. And beyond the comfort, there's also the benefit of saving energy and money. No more heating or cooling rooms you're not using. Just smart, simple support for everyday living. So whether it's the ease of speaking a command instead of reaching for a switch, the reassurance of knowing someone will be alerted if you fall, or the quiet comfort of a home that adjusts to your needs, these devices aren't about replacing anything. They're about enhancing everything. They're not just gadgets. They're tools of freedom, tools of peace of mind, tools of dignity. Because this chapter of life isn't about slowing down, it's about living smart. And when your home understands your needs and supports your routine, you're free to enjoy your days with more comfort, more confidence, and more joy than ever before. There's something comforting about knowing that your home is quietly working in the background to support you. Not in a loud, flashy way, but in the subtle, reliable way that feels like a trusted friend. That's the real beauty of smart living today. It doesn't mean surrendering to technology or learning something new every day. It simply means allowing helpful tools to take care of the little things, so you can focus on the bigger things that really matter: your peace of mind, your hobbies, your health, and your happiness. Now, let's turn our attention to one more area of home life that often doesn't get enough credit: keeping track of our medications. It's one of those things that starts off simple, but over time, it becomes surprisingly complex. A few pills in the morning, maybe another in the afternoon, one before bed, and each has its own name, dosage, timing, and instructions. It's no wonder that even the most organized person can occasionally forget or mix something up. But what if you didn't have to worry about remembering? What if something, or someone, could remember for you, with perfect accuracy and gentle reminders? That's exactly what smart medication dispensers are designed to do. And let me tell you, they're a game changer. These devices are compact, easy to set up, and once you fill them with your medication, they'll alert you when it's time to take it. Some even open the correct compartment for you, beep or speak to remind you, and lock away the other doses so there's no confusion. Others send notifications to your phone, or even to a family member, if you forget. There's something so relieving about knowing you didn't miss a dose, especially if it's medication that's essential to your heart, your blood pressure, or your bones. It's not just about staying healthy, it's about staying in control. A woman I know, her name's Doris. She's 74 and lives alone in a quiet little cottage. She told me that ever since using her smart pill dispenser, she doesn't feel that nervous flutter in her chest when she wonders, did I take my morning pill or not? Now she knows, and that knowing brings a kind of peace she hadn't felt in years. It's those quiet wins, those small moments of certainty, that build confidence. Confidence that yes, you can manage your health. Yes, you can stay on top of things. You don't need to rely on someone knocking on your door every morning to keep track. You just need the right helper, one that fits right on your nightstand. But medication isn't the only thing that needs careful attention. Let's talk about something we often overlook, the front door. Because whether we like it or not, our homes are only as safe as their entry points. And while most neighborhoods are peaceful, there's something incredibly empowering about knowing exactly who is at your door before you ever answer it. That's where smart doorbell cameras come in. These tiny little gadgets sit where your regular doorbell used to be, but they're so much more than a buzzer. They have a built-in camera, microphone, and speaker. That means if someone rings your bell, even when you're in bed, in the bath, or out in the garden, you can see them, hear them, and even talk to them through your smartphone or tablet. And here's the amazing part. You don't even have to get up. Picture this. You're sitting in your favorite chair, enjoying a cup of tea, when someone approaches the door. Your phone chimes gently. You look, and there they are on the screen. Maybe it's the delivery man with a package. Maybe it's your neighbor dropping off a pie. Or maybe it's someone you don't recognize. And in that case, you can simply speak through the device and say, "Hello, how can I help you?" without ever opening the door. That small moment, that power to see and choose, can be life-changing. It replaces the old feeling of, "I hope it's someone safe," with, "I know exactly who's there." That difference matters. It's the difference between uncertainty and confidence. A retired teacher named Henry told me how he used to feel anxious every time the doorbell rang, especially after dark. Now, with his smart doorbell, he doesn't even flinch. "It's like having a peephole that works from anywhere," he said with a laugh. "Only better, because I don't have to shuffle to the door." And for those who worry about being tech-savvy, don't. These systems are often installed once and then work on their own. Most come with simple apps that just pop up like a phone call or a photo. If you've ever used a cell phone, you're already halfway there. But let's not stop at the front door. Let's take one more step into the heart of the home, the kitchen. Because if there's one place where safety, convenience, and independence truly come together, it's here. And in this space, there's a new kind of quiet companion that's helping seniors stay safe and eat well, the smart kitchen sensor. Now, I know that might sound a little high-tech, but hear me out. These sensors are like gentle guardians that can alert you if the stove is left on too long, if smoke is detected, or even if the fridge door was left open. Not with loud sirens or scary alarms, but with helpful notifications or quiet alerts to your phone or a loved one's phone. Why does this matter? Because we all forget things. Maybe you turn on the kettle and walk away. Maybe you start to cook and get distracted by a phone call. It happens. But these sensors can quietly watch out for you, catching those moments before they turn into bigger problems. There was a story that warmed my heart about a man in his 80s who was still living on his own and loved to cook. His daughter was worried because he'd recently left the stove on twice. She installed a smart sensor that sent her a message if the burner was left on too long. One day, sure enough, he started his famous tomato soup, walked away, and forgot. She called him gently, and they both had a laugh about it. No harm done, no fire, just a loving reminder and a pot of soup saved. That's the thing. These devices don't take over. They don't monitor you or invade your privacy. They support you, quietly, respectfully, in the background, like an old friend who gently taps your shoulder when something might be wrong. And at the heart of all this is the idea that aging doesn't mean retreating. It means adapting. It means living smarter, not smaller. With the right tools around you, even something as simple as making tea, answering the door, or remembering your evening pill becomes easier, safer, more enjoyable. When your home starts to respond to your needs instead of demanding your energy, everything changes. The day feels lighter, the house feels warmer, and life, well, it starts to feel like yours again, in every sense. There's something special about waking up in the morning and feeling like your home is already one step ahead of you. The lights gently glow on as you move through the hallway. The kettle hums in the kitchen, ready for your morning tea. And there's a sense of ease, a kind of quiet partnership between you and the space you live in. That's not a fantasy, it's the real beauty of smart living. And as we've seen, it's not about flashing lights or complicated technology. It's about comfort, safety, and preserving the freedom you've earned after a lifetime of doing everything for everyone else. Now, let's talk about one final device. It may not be as flashy as a camera or as precise as a pill dispenser, but its impact can be deeply personal. It's something that listens, responds, and becomes a part of your daily rhythm. I'm talking about a voice-activated smart assistant. Now, you've probably heard of them before. Those little round speakers you can talk to. You might have even seen one in a grandchild's home and wondered, what does that thing actually do? Well, let me tell you, it can do quite a bit, especially for someone who wants to live independently with just a little extra help around the house. A smart assistant isn't just a gadget. It's a companion of sorts. You can ask it the time, the weather, or what day of the week it is. You can tell it to play your favorite song, set a reminder for your doctor's appointment, or add eggs to your shopping list. You can say, turn on the lights, and suddenly, the room is bright. You can even ask it to call someone in your family if your hands are busy, or if you just want to hear a familiar voice. The real magic isn't in what it does. It's in how easily it fits into your life. You don't need to press buttons or scroll through screens. You just speak. And that small act, that ability to say a sentence and get something done, can make a world of difference. I knew a gentleman named Mr. Taylor who lived alone after his wife passed. He wasn't one for newfangled things, as he put it, but his daughter insisted he try using a smart assistant. At first, he only asked it for the time. Then he started using it to listen to the radio in the mornings. Then he set a reminder for his Sunday roast so he wouldn't overcook it. One day, he told me it was like having someone in the house again. Not a person exactly, but a presence, a voice, a connection. That's powerful. Not because it replaces anything, but because it adds a little light to the room when things feel a bit too quiet. And that's the heart of it, isn't it? We all want to feel connected. To people, to our space, to ourselves. These devices, they're not about giving up control. They're about keeping it. They're tools, not crutches. They help make the small, everyday moments smoother and more enjoyable, so you can live with less stress and more grace. Now, if we take a step back for just a moment and look at all of this together, what do we see? We see a home where the lights respond to you, where reminders keep your medication on schedule, where you see who's at your door before you answer it, where your kitchen quietly helps you stay safe, where your voice alone can turn a quiet afternoon into one filled with your favorite music or a phone call with someone you love. And none of it is out of reach. Not one of these tools requires you to become a tech expert. Most can be set up by a friend, a neighbor, or a family member in a single afternoon. And once they're working, they quietly blend into your life, offering peace of mind, small comforts, and a greater sense of control. Because here's the truth, growing older doesn't mean losing independence. It means choosing what kind of independence you want. It means building a life that supports your needs without taking away your dignity. And if a little help from technology can make life a bit easier, a bit safer, a bit more joyful, why not welcome it? You've earned that comfort. You've earned the right to live without constantly worrying if you left the stove on, or missed a pill, or can't reach the phone in time. You've spent years looking after others. Now it's time for your home to look after you. So whether you're already using one or two of these devices, or whether you're just beginning to explore the idea, know this, there's no right or wrong way to start. You don't have to do everything at once. Even adding just one smart helper can make a meaningful difference. And every step you take toward greater ease and peace of mind is a step worth celebrating. If this conversation has sparked something in you, an idea, a question, or a memory, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What devices have helped you at home? What would you love to try? Your stories, your experiences, they matter. They can help others feel less alone, more hopeful, more inspired. And if you found this video helpful or comforting, please consider giving it a like. It's a small gesture that helps this content reach others who might need it too. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here, we believe that life after 60 is just the beginning of a new chapter, and we're here to help you make it one of your best. So here's to the little things that make life smoother, to the quiet helpers, to the confidence that comes with knowing your home is on your side. And most of all, here's to living your best life, at any age, in your own way. You deserve nothing less.